Hello and welcome to our interactive and fun panel discussion on creating more sustainable decorated apparel. I'm Jenna Sackett and I'll be your host for this discussion. And we have some awesome panel of sustainability champions in this industry with us today. But before we dive in, I'm going to let you get to know them a little bit better. So, panelists, we'll start with Stan. If you want to introduce yourself, we'll just go around the horn so people can get to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm San Ferdinand. I'm the UK and European Sales and Marketing Director for Bella Canvas out here on the other side of the pond. Really excited to talk to you guys today about our sustainable practices. And I've been with the company, it'll be 10 years next year.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, awesome. Who's up next?
Hi, I guess I'll go. I'm Rachel Hoskins. I'm the National Sales Manager for Threadfast Apparel. We sell exclusively through Alpha Broder, and I'm excited to talk to you. Sustainability is really in our DNA, and talk to you how you can make better choices and have a more sustainable business.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. How about you, Rochelle?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rochelle Manning, and I run Sanmar Sports. We are all a part of Sanmar, but my little division is called Sanmar Sports. And I'm excited to talk to you about our company and all the things that we are doing across the world to help improve our sustainability. Thank you.
Great. Tom, 1-800 T-shirts.
Hey, Tom Brown with 1-800 T-shirts, and we are a distributor and decorator, and looking forward to chatting today.
Thank you. Andy.
Hi, I'm the marketing manager and educator here in UK for Stahls, and I have been here for about 5.5 years now. So I'm really excited for the session today because we get so many questions about sustainability. What does it really mean? What is advice for the actual decorators? So super excited to have all of you joining us today.
Yes, very excited for this topic. I know this is something that I'm constantly still learning more about. So it's going to be great to have you guys shed some more light on, what we can be doing as decorators to be more sustainable. So as I mentioned, this session is going to be completely dedicated to shedding light on various aspects of the industry and being more environmentally responsible and having that positive impact. And it can be a little bit difficult in the custom printing business. So we're always trying to look for ways to reduce our environmental impact and promote sustainable practices. So I think that we're going to have a really great discussion built around that. So we're going to start with some eco-friendly materials, and we're going to keep this very around the horn and conversational. And for those of you that are watching, feel free to ask questions and join the conversation with us. But we'll start with the first question with you, Rachel. What are some of the sustainable fabric options that can be used in custom apparel?
Yeah, well, I know that you hear a lot like organic cotton. Threadfast chooses to partner with BCI because it's more scalable. Not every farmer can grow organic cotton, so this is a way that every farmer can have more sustainable practices. So BCI, well, they're called Better Cotton now. Sorry, I'm used to saying BCI. They go and teach farmers how to use like reclaimed water systems and less water, and how to reduce their chemicals and care for their natural soils depending on their region of the world, and even get women in positions of power across the globe that normally don't have access to those jobs, while making sure everyone is paid fairly and in safe working conditions. So from how the cotton is sourced, right? Recycled polyester. Sometimes there's enough plastics in our landfills and what we recycle all the time. But if we just recycle plastic and don't have a use to upcycle them, then it's still just sitting there. So all of our polyester is recycled polyester. And I know a lot of people are switching over to that, which is so incredible to see. And then lastly, like companies have give back programs too, but those are our two materials that we use that are sustainable.
Awesome. And Stan, over at Bella Canvas, what are some eco-friendly materials that custom printers can have easy access to through you?
So very similar to kind of what Rachel just said there, we are a completely sustainable company from source to the finished product. Our cotton, again, is sourced with cotton yarn suppliers who have signed and agreed to a code of conduct, which are aligned with the FLA principles, which is the Fair Labour Association, and that's a non-profit organisation. For certain customers as well, we use cotton which is sourced from BCI farms too. So we work along the kind of same lines there. So just from sourcing the cotton and making sure that it's, completely eco-friendly to the environment that it's in, and also protecting the farmers too, instantly puts us on the right foot. Then when we go into production and producing the fabrics and cutting and dyeing in Los Angeles, again, just because of where we are, it has the highest EPA regulations in the world, again, making us a sustainable choice.
Awesome. So, Rochelle, Tom, with you guys a little bit more, like Rochelle in the sporting goods side of things and Tom at 1-800 T-shirts, what would you say are some of like the major benefits of being able to use sustainable materials and source these fabrics for, our end clients?
Yeah, so I'll go. It definitely helps out. So I think probably over the last 5 years, we're seeing the question come up a lot more with our clients. So they're coming to us and saying, what do you have that's more sustainable? And some of it goes with our customer base. So I'm a trail runner, and naturally work with a lot of people in the trail running community. So whether it's 5K races or marathons and things like that, we don't just want to be putting a lot of T-shirts out there for the sake of putting T-shirts out there. So we want to look and say, all right, what's sustainable? But then on the decorator side of things, we want to make sure that we're doing great designs that are going to last and that are going to look good and that people are going to want to wear. And they're not just going to go in the garage sale pile, I guess. So it's like, how do you make that T-shirt last longer for the person? Myself, I am the king of this. I've got T-shirts that are more than 10 years old. And because I find shirts that I fall in love with the design, the material, and everything else. And I want to just keep wearing that shirt forever, basically. So we want to create that same thing for our customers as well.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Sanmar participates in all the programs that you guys have all mentioned already. One thing that I think might help our customers is if they are given choices that people will want to wear, and that they're not just a one-time use. So sometimes that might be a little, excuse me, it might be a little bit of an elevated piece. Excuse me.
That's okay.
It's early here. My voice isn't working yet.
That's okay. But no, I'll second that. I will say a lot of times when this conversation is coming up, it's great to have like the eco-friendly materials and have that source in the blank. It starts with the blank, but the design is what makes people want to hold on to it a little bit more. It's all about artwork and creating that top shelf or top drawer product, the first thing somebody wants to grab whenever they go to get ready for the day, right? So that is a huge role in sustainability. Andy, do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, as we get started as well, I'd really love to know what questions do those that are live with us today get asked from their customers as well. So we could perhaps put them to everyone that's joining on the panel and how they would answer them. But sustainability is just everything in the UK at the moment. I mean, we work with Bella Canvas quite a lot because we're always next to each other at stands, but it's such a hot topic that everyone's asking us all about. It's kind of getting into the storytelling, I think, is quite a big part of it. One of the things I'd really encourage everyone to take away from this session in particular is the stories that San and Rachel and Rochelle are saying essentially going to be your stories from now on. Take them and put them into the narrative of your business, because they're your black suppliers. So the way that the product's made is now the way your product's made.
Yes. And I can add to that too. When your customer comes to you, just kind of like Tom was saying, and you don't just want the most t-shirts or the cheapest t-shirt that, is going to be worn once and then thrown away or wash the dog with or whatever. You want that shirt that's going to be worn again and again. So it's about the longevity of the product, of the print as well, that also is more sustainable. So it's not just like sourcing sustainable materials, but garments that are going to last wash after wash, prints that are going to last wash after wash and keep being worn.
Right. And so whenever we're talking about design and actually custom printing for sustainability, are there any print solutions that you guys recommend? Maybe Tom specifically, since you're doing a lot of the decorating, what are some of the like emerging technologies or printing solutions you're using now to hit that sustainability mark?
Yeah, so there's a wide range of things that we can do, from traditional screen printing with plastic inks to water-based inks, and then direct to garment, and now direct to film. And so we're looking at all those of, what is that impact on the environment, the consumables, and things like that, and then the suppliers that go with those things. So right now probably the hot decoration method is direct to film. And not all direct to film is created equal. And so we're looking and saying, all right, what is this consumable? What does this look like? What's the wearability and how long is it going to last? That type of thing. And so just looking at the vendors that are offering it, such as Stahls, and knowing that they've got the research and everything that goes in the background with those products.
I second not all direct to film is made the same, right? But it has been a great new technology that is really pushing the envelope on different things that we can do when it comes to custom printing. But those water-based ink solutions, that is a really great print technology. If you are sourcing the right transfer, or if you are printing in-house yourself, being able to make sure that you are producing the best transfer possible. So, yeah, that's a great solution. And then, of course, so when it comes to screen printing and water-based inks there, I know we have done transfers with that and stuff, but is that something that you're, doing on your own screen print press? And what does that process really look like if someone wanted to get into printing water-based ink in-house?
Yeah, so water-based ink is a little bit of a different animal as far as shelf life of the ink, printing methods with it, curing the ink, all that sort of thing. But even traditional plastols have changed over the last 2 years with the level of plastics actually in the ink and things like that. So I feel like actual plastol ink has continued to evolve to be a little bit more, sustainable friendly. And water-based ink, like I said, there's a little more learning curve to that, but I think overall, it's better for the environment.
Yeah. And if you were to recommend to somebody like just getting started, is that a process you would say that they could easily get involved in, or would you recommend maybe just starting the transfer route and going from there?
I think definitely the easiest to go in is the transfer route. And like I said, whether it's direct to film or ordering, transfers of some other sort, or some sort of, cut vinyl, anything like that, that's going to be like the fastest route to get in. What I've found with water-based ink is there's a little bit more of a learning curve with it to make sure you've got the environment dialed in that you're printing in, the press, your dryer. There's just a lot of other factors that go in, and there's a lot of great education in the industry that can help get in, but definitely the fastest way in right now would be the direct to film.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. And San, it looks like we have a question for you. So Kevin Turner asks, taking Bella Canvas as an example, are there any accreditations that we can quote to support the sustainability position?
Yes, absolutely. So we are completely platinum status WRAP accredited. When I say completely, I mean not just our offices, actually our factories as well. So we have that, which is brilliant. We're part of the FLA, which I mentioned earlier, which is the Fair Labour Association. All of this can be downloaded, by the way, on our website, so it's super easy. But we decided to take this one step further. Not only do we work with huge companies like, Amazon, Disney, etc., we decided to also be completely factory transparent. So we are able to provide all the information that you need for your customers, because I know this is a big topic. Again, this is all on the website. You won't actually even need to ask me or any of the other guys for this. We have it all available, ready for you to have a look.
Awesome. And Rochelle, Sanmar does a lot of resources on their website for downloads as well, correct?
Yeah, I think my voice is working a little bit better now, so sorry about
Great.
that. Yeah, we have a bunch of resources all located at sanmar.com. A couple things that you could look at. One of them is we created this thing that we're calling a textile waste decision tree. And I think that is also, we sent that a part of your guys' trade show book. And basically what that does is it starts at the top with green, completely green, and then it goes all the way down to red. So we have a green, a little bit of a lighter green, a yellow, an orange, and a red. And those steps include green is prevent. So the easiest way to, I guess, improve your sustainability is to prevent waste and prevent, excess inventory and all of those things. Then we have the next is reduce. Then you have reuse and recycle, and we could get into some of those recycling options later. Recovery, so maybe ways that you could use it in different manners. And then disposal, which would be the least environmentally friendly way. So that's just one resource that we offer on sanmar.com. We are also one of a very elite group of accredited FLA members. And that means that everything that we do within all of our factories, we're almost, I guess in 2012, we were first accredited, and then our accreditation just got renewed in 2023 in March. So those are just two things. But yeah, we have a ton of resources available on sanmar.com.
Amazing. And Rachel, you guys also have the resources as well. I know you guys have a mission statement that dedicates for a certain amount of cases sold. You guys are planting trees, correct?
Yeah, we have a give back program with one tree planted that every case of product sold or planting a tree. We started that program 2 years ago. We've planted over 90,000 trees in Canada and California. Every year we choose where they go to. We've chose forest fire recovery for the past couple of years, since that seems to be the hottest topic right now and the biggest issue. But like they're saying, like Rochelle and San are saying, it's not just about our planet, what needs to be sustainable. It's also about social responsibility. Like they're talking about FLA and how the people are treated that are making the product. It's 2023. We should be open and clear about how we're making our product. So also Threadfast is WRAP certified gold, and we can get all of those any of those accreditations that you may need to give up to your customers, like Disney or whomever. But we do not have them straight on our website. But I love that San and Rochelle have those resources right on their website that they can just pull off. But if you need anything, please reach out to me or our customer service team, and we can get those for you as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing. It looks like we have, now I'm having a voice issue. Looks like we have another question. Do you find it important to tell your retailer the brand's sustainability practices? Tom, this might be a good one for you.
Yes, 100%. So, I mean, as you've heard, there's a story behind every t-shirt, and what they're doing at Threadfast and Bella Canvas. They're putting a lot of time, energy, resources, and money into, making sure we've got the, best products, quality products, they're sustainable, all that. And so being able to take that story and pass it down and tell the end consumer or the retailer, whoever you're selling the product to, is a big part of the selling process, and just letting them know. So, it's not like you're just sourcing irresponsibly or something like that. So, I love the story Rachel said about 90,000. Was it 90,000 trees? Like, that is insane. And so that paints a great visual, and knowing all the impact of the wildfires over the last couple of years, like, that makes a difference. And that's awesome. So knowing those little things really helps the sales process, and helps, just take that knowledge and all that energy and time and money and resources that they put into it from the very beginning of that t-shirt to getting to the end consumer. So they know that. And I think it's going to help out all around.
I think having like a physicality too, like this t-shirt has approximately equivalent of 3 water bottles in it, or your order planted 2 trees, or whatever, whatever it is, I think like really drives it home.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
One thing I just want to share, this is also available on sanmar.com, but we have a little thing that we started called a canvas for good. And I think what so many people take advantage of and just forget is that garment that you're buying for your customer, there's a message on there. It's not just a t-shirt. It's way more than a t-shirt. It could be, a 6-year-old's first baseball jersey, and for them to feel a part of something bigger than themselves, a part of a team. So on sanmar.com, we have this thing called the Canvas for Good, and it's where our customers can go in and talk about what they've done with a particular garment and how they've impacted a particular group or individual. And it's really, really cool. And all that, like I said, you could go to sanmar.com and look at all of our Canvas for Good stories. We can't just pick one to tell because they're all fantastic, but it would give all of you guys a little bit additional support and maybe encourage you to write in and have your customer be a part of our Canvas for Good.
Yeah, that is great. So Andy, Caroline asked, working with t-shirts that have both recycled cotton and recycled polyester, will this make any difference to the quality of the heat transfer application? What has been your experience with that?
Not at all, to be honest with you. We have, in all honesty, we wouldn't have invited any of these panelists on if their products weren't good enough to decorate onto. Because we would be giving bad advice if we did, wouldn't we? We can sort of attest that all of these products that we're talking about today are easy to decorate on. It's just a case of there's not really even much from an actual technique point of view, in all honesty. It's just a case of, test a couple of times and you'll figure it out very quickly. It all comes down to heat tolerance. It's more to do with actually what is the makeup of the material makes a bigger difference. And Dave and myself are going to go into this in more detail later on today in our fabrics masterclass, but really super, super easy. The transfers, especially the Stahls transfers, last just as long as they would do on any type of cotton, polyester, you name it. Recycled goods, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it, they're just as good as anything else today. In fact, you don't really even need to think about it. You can just put it onto a heat press, get a direct to home heat transfer, and off you go. It's really, really easy.
Lovely. All right. So we're going to move on to something a little bit more fun. And I want us to all just give an example to our viewers and our listeners of a fun and eco-friendly action each of you take to support sustainability in custom apparel. Tom, we'll start with you. If I'm not putting you on the spot too.
Please say it. Please say that again.
We'll repeat the question, then we'll go again. All right. So I wanted you guys to suggest a fun and easy eco-friendly action to our listeners that you may be taking currently to support sustainability in custom apparel.
So we do. So we've got a lot of materials in-house, and we try to reuse or recycle as much as we can. And one of them is naturally with printing. Every once in a while, we end up with a mistake. And so we take the mistake shirt and we try to figure out, all right, can we combine other designs with it? How can we make this actually useful? Sometimes they do end up becoming a rag that, we end up using, but it's how do we take our art creativity side of things and make a mistake into maybe a piece of art or something that we can actually make useful again. So we're not 100% great all the time, but when we do make those mistakes, we try to see who can be the most creative to come up with a way to still be able to use that item.
I love that. That's fun. All right, Rachel.
Well, just kind of Tom's like, this is a journey. This is not like, okay, I'm going to be 100% sustainable tomorrow. Like, just start making the little changes of how, like, you're choosing your blanks. Make sure that it's, convince your customers, spend a little bit of extra money and get a garment that's going to last, instead of product that's might get thrown away. And then there's also going to be more impressions with their logo or whatever print is on there too, because they're going to get more and more. Jenna was talking about top of the stack. You want this product to be seen more, the logo, whatever you're printing on the garment, the whole reason for this industry to get seen over and over again. So convincing them to spend a little extra money, sometimes it is cents. Divestors really discovered a way to make sustainable affordable, because we can't get people to change their buying habits if it's incredibly expensive. And I think it used to be so incredibly expensive to choose eco-friendly garments, but now that is not the case anymore. So just getting your customers in the right pieces, or even just pieces that are going to last. And know that it's okay that you're not completely sustainable tomorrow. That just little things every day, every week, every quarter, making those changes.
Sam, do you have advice to share?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. So I kind of leading on from similar to what Rachel was just saying there, it's so important to, spend the time and have the conversation. And I think for me, it would be amazing if you could maybe just ask the question. So if customers come to you and say, hey, I'm looking for a sustainable garment, or I'm looking for an organic garment, actually find out what it is they're looking for, because sometimes I don't think they're completely clear on exactly what they want. So when, you say to them, why do you need it to be sustainable? Where is it going? Is it important, where it's dyed, or the types of dyes that we're using, or what happens to the scrap materials, or, how can it be sustainable? You want to find out what they're actually looking for. Is it just a general, we just want a sustainable garment, or partner up with a company that's sustainable? Well, that's great. And then you can, like Rachel said, spend that time and educate them a little bit on, these are the practices that our suppliers follow, and they have everything to back it up. And I just think ask the question and kind of probe a little bit and find out exactly what and why they're choosing to want an organic, eco, or sustainable option.
Great advice. Yeah, sometimes they're not exactly sure. They're just, they hear the word and they're like, all right, well, I got to start doing that now.
Right.
Rochelle, you were about to jump in.
Yeah, Sanmar is a distributor, but we are also a manufacturer, and we manufacture a certain line of products under our district brand called our Re-Tee and Re-Fleece. And basically what we do is we take and collect the products that we manufacture, the scraps. So let's say we're manufacturing a red t-shirt at the time. Anything that we don't use in the cutting process and in the manufacturing process, we then take and put in a pile. And then we process that by cleaning it, shredding it, we comb it, and then we spin it into new yarn, and we spin it in with recycled polyester that's made from plastic bottles. And then that turns into our re-tee or re-fleece. So it's a fully recycled t-shirt or fleece. It's affordable, like you said, which is a really big deal because people don't even really know where to start. And the line is growing, and we have, I think, about 10 items in our line that are under the district re product. So re-tee and re-fleece.
And you guys, I was pretty impressed with the beanie. I saw a beanie that was sustainable and it had cotton in it. And I'm like, this is going to be amazing for heat press.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. We are not in the manufacture or in the decoration side of the business. We manufacture blanks and distribute blanks. But all the talk about, heat applied graphics and transfers, when people, my age or maybe even a little bit younger, think of a transfer, they think of the old school transfers that you used to get where you could actually feel it. With the technology that everything Stahls has done, it's incredible. And it takes the bottleneck out of the decoration process, which happens all the time. So we use examples of only, at least at my events, my trade shows and events that we attend for SanMar Sports, we only do transfer and heat applied graphics because you could do so much with it now. So that's just my plug to help, kind of streamline the process for all the customers out there.
And I just wanted to jump in there, Rach. I think that's fantastic. And I think we should hear that from so many more suppliers or manufacturers. This is what we should be doing. We're doing something very similar to exactly what you said there. Any scraps that we have from our tees, we are recycling them to make our new Eco Max tee. So we're doing it. And we should hear this from so many more. And you want to partner up with other brands that do this, because we're not just adding to landfill and causing issues in the world. We're using our initiative, using those scrap materials and doing something with it and recycling them. I think this is so important.
So we have another question from Leonardo, and he's curious about inks for printing. Usually they are doing like a tie-dye workshop for kids in corporate events, and they have been using 100% organic dyes from vegetables. Do you guys have or know of anything like that? Maybe Rochelle, if you are distributing for somebody like that.
You know what? I don't. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but that sounds really cool from vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, have you experienced anything with that side of things?
No, I can't say I have. That'd be new for me here in Iowa.
Maybe she needs to pop on this and tell us a little more.
Leonardo, we need more information. Tell us more. Andy, do you have anything to add as far as advice for, just small steps somebody can take at their shop?
I know that in the UK, it's always a bit of a $1 million question, but is contacting your local recycling company to find out what to do with the release paper or the excess vinyl, because there's always a way to recycle that. In the UK, it tends to vary from county to county or state to state. So just make sure you contact them to find out how to dispose of excess products the best possible way. From a purely Stahls point of view, using water-based inks is always a good way to start. And we just did some wash testing here in the UK, and the longevity with heat transfers now it'll blow your mind. Some of the results we got the other day in terms of how many washes it lasts, long time. So that would be a good step. I know from a UK manufacturing point of view, we're looking into things like solar as well for the building, just to see if we can get the whole roof done, just to kind of reduce our carbon footprint for Stahls UK as well.
Awesome. We'll say, just to speak to the longevity of the water-based ink solution direct to film, our Ultracolor Max was actually utilized through our decoration fulfillment center. They partnered with a the CrossFit Games. And to bring that to market, it had to last 250 washes. So I'm curious, Andy, what washes you did, like what number you got to, because I was a little mind blown by the 250. Usually the industry standard is like, oh yeah, if it lasts 50 washes,
Yeah.
you're good. That's the life of the garment. But realistically, there are some brands that they do not want it print if it's not, more than 250.
Yeah, it is. That's the same sort of numbers we were looking at. It's trying to create these forever products. If you're working with Bella Canvas and Sanmar and Threadfast, you want to create products that person's going to keep in that wardrobe for a long, long time. So it's really important to make sure that the life quality is there. And like you say, Jenna, it's normally when we go to shows, 50 washes is kind of like the standard, but everyone wants to wear their clothes more than 50 washes if it's a particularly nice item.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. That speaks to sustainability too. If you can keep a garment and wash it 250 times, you're holding on to it. That's good. So this might be a good question for you, Rochelle. Jennifer's asking if you're aware of any Canadian suppliers of Nike or Adidas that allow decorated apparel companies to be exported from Canada.
I am not. We have a company that's kind of like our sister company called Sanmar Canada. So you can always contact them. I don't believe that Sanmar Canada distributes Nike, however, and they for sure don't distribute Adidas. But the question reads a little funny because it sounds like she wants to export decorated product from Canada. Is that what she's saying? Or is she asking for it to be imported into Canada?
That's a great question. We'll have Jennifer follow up on that to clarify.
Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer, just let us know if you're looking for it to be exported or imported to Canada. All right. Now I want to talk a little bit about some sustainable fashion. What are some things that you guys are seeing as like the newest, latest, and greatest in sustainability as far as apparel and accessory goes?
I'll just take that real quick because I kind of talked about the re-tee already. And I think what the trend is that it's way more important to all of us manufacturers out there to make more sustainable products. And I think the trend is happening because of our customers' commitment to, improve the environment. So like the large companies out there that are really focused on it, they're driving a lot of our change. And when you are asking a customer, what's important to them, you will probably be surprised that they all have some type of sustainable action within their company and their organization, even at the smallest level. And as soon as you get past the question or you get the answer of what's important to them, then you can start directing them in the right direction of what kind of product to go for, whether it's, sustainable manufacturing, whether it's sustainable fabrics, whether it's sustainable practices when it comes to decoration and reduce water waste. Andy talked about solar. We have the largest solar, I guess, the largest solar footprint in Central America. It's 1 million square feet. So almost all of our energy, we manufacture or produce more energy than we use. So all of those things fit into the, whole cycle of the product lifestyle.
That's awesome.
Nice. Rachel?
Yeah, I think the reason that sustainability is trending so heavy is because we're getting that younger generation in buying positions of these larger companies, and they care. So they're forcing their companies to care. And for some companies, it is just a box to check, but some companies truly do care. But either way, they need options. But I'm not sure if you were talking about like specific styles, Jenna, that are like fashionable.
Either or, yeah, yeah. I think this is we're starting in a really good direction. But yeah, if you have any you know, latest or new styles that are sustainable to share, that now would be a good time to share that for sure.
Well, this is not something new, but I'm sure Rochelle and Sam have seen this. Crew neck sweatshirts, which I'm wearing right now, have been trending like crazy over hoodies for the first time, maybe ever. But you know, that's what's great with some of the different transfer Stahls has to offer, because you can get that retro, like collegiate look with a crew neck sweatshirt. So our 320C and all of the polys, recycle poly, all of our cotton is sustainably sourced cotton. And we have denim jackets that are sourced as better cotton, and bomber jackets. You know, we're getting into that season finally, even though it was 80 degrees yesterday here in Kansas City. But, you know, our bomber jackets are completely recycled polyester, and Jenna had some printed for us that say there's no Planet B, our kind of slogan. And the DTF print on those bomber jackets is like, it's just,
They did turn out really cool.
they turned out so cool. Everyone's like, wait, what is that? And they're touching it. I'm like, yeah. Go contact Stahls. But on our denim jackets too, those DTF prints looked awesome. So our 370J denim jacket, 395J bomber jacket. We even have faux leather bomber jackets that the DTF print works really well on. And then our 320C crew. Also, our hoodie, our 320H hoodie, has 2 separate side pockets instead of a kangaroo pocket. So you're not restricted by that kangaroo pocket. And sometimes in our industry, kangaroo pockets can accidentally be sewn a little crooked, which makes your print look a little crooked. So we just got rid of that issue altogether. And it looks great on your body too.
Awesome. And guys, if you are interested in learning more a little bit about some of the blanks that Rachel and Rochelle and San are discussing in this panel, they do have a trade show booth, a virtual trade show booth. So feel free to hop over there after the discussion. You guys will have a few minutes between now and our next session. So you guys can ask more questions there and see what all they are offering. And San, how about you? Is there a new, like, I think you guys just launched a new cotton or recycle some t-shirt. I saw it in Fort
Yes,
Worth just
right.
last week, and I was like, this is amazing.
No, it couldn't have happened at a more perfect time. So obviously our big bosses knew we were coming on, so it was perfect. But very
Great.
similar to what we were talking about earlier, I think I mentioned it, where we are recycling any scrap materials from our manufacturing process when we're manufacturing teas, and we're making a tea out of those scraps called the Eco Max tea, which is incredible. So this is what I think we were talking about earlier. I think this should be a standard. I think most manufacturers should do this, because of course we will have scraps, that's inevitable. And we don't want to waste anything. Previously, we were actually using those scraps to use as like you could make baby bibs or upholstery, stuffing, that kind of thing. So we were trying to recycle there, but we came up with this and we thought, this is such a great idea. It's gone down really well. We've just launched it in the US. I'm hoping to get it over here soon too. So really positive. But what we did add recently, well, we're adding it for January, but we're doing a big launch now in Europe, is our baby tea collection. So similar to what Rachel was actually saying earlier, you're getting a lot of the younger generation, the Gen Zers, the millennials. They're the ones that are making these decisions. They want product that they would actually wear. That's the thing. They want retail quality. They want retail sizing and styling and colorways. So we've always done that from day dot, and it's never changed. We've kind of had that from then to now. So we are always the first to jump on the trends and, you know, what's going on in retail. We're the first to bring it into wholesale, which is why, you know, we've become the size we are today. So we launched this baby tee collection. So it's 7 styles. It's basically a crop collection, but fit to flatter any shape, any size. So it has a stretch fit, which is fantastic. So completely size inclusive. It's a women's collection, because we believe this is brilliant in our industry. There's nothing like it. And it's heavily retail focused, which hits that demographic making the big decisions. We've seen such a huge movement, I think, from even when I've started the company to now, where the whole market has seemed to go in the way of, I want to buy a product that I would wash and wear on a daily basis. I think COVID really helped with that situation, where we became a lot more choosing garments that were more of a relaxed fit. So choosing sweatshirts, using t-shirts rather than obviously shirts, because most of us were working from home. So wanted to be a lot more comfortable. Then became a little bit more choosy, I'd say, on the type of t-shirts and the type of sweatshirts and hoodies we're wearing, because we're wearing them every day, you know. So we want to make sure they're the best. And that's where we've seen a big movement. So I think just jumping on what's going on in retail, what's going on with this demographic of people that are making the big decisions, and getting in there quick, because, you know, we live in a generation now where it's the Amazon generation. They want it yesterday. So
Yeah.
you've got to be super quick with it.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for that input. So you guys heard it here for some of the top brands in the industry. Tom, is there you actually have a question. Is there a best-selling race tech shirt that you recommend? What's your top?
It really all depends on, so a lot of these races that we work with, and this could go for any end consumer. It kind of just really depends on their budget and what they're trying to achieve. Most of the races, actually, I would say like 90% that we've been doing lately have not been offering a tech shirt, because if you know anything about marathoning or 5K race or whatever, people end up with, if they're doing a lot of them, they end up with a closet full of various tech tees from a lot of top brands. And so now, like, the more go-to shirt is something that's soft and very comfortable to wear, that people are going to be wearing like outside of running. So then it's promoting that race or that event, you know, when they're out at the brewery or local festival or something like that. So we've actually been seeing a lot of non-technical shirts in the running community.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. All right. As we wrap up here, Andy, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
I would just say to get in touch with these 4 people that we have on the panel with us today. You know, they're all here to be your partner in this journey of sustainability, either as a supplier of one form or another. So start talking to them, or start talking to someone within their organization, because they have all the answers for you, and they're more than willing to give you certificates, everything you could possibly need to show that you have a sustainable product for your customers.
Great. Thank you. All right, y'all. If you didn't get any questions answered, we did save your questions. We do have a Q&A session up next from the masterclass presenters. So stick around for that. You will get a little bit of break here in between if you want to pop out and visit some of those virtual booths where you can talk more with the panelists. And then, of course, Tom shared all of his information in the chat. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, just scroll up. All that information is listed there, and we can also share that after as well. So be sure to join the Q&A, and that is wrapping us up for this session. Thank you to the panelists for joining. And of course, remember, just all small eco actions can lead to big changes. So let's keep, this revolution alive. And again, thank you for joining. We'll see you at the next session.
Bye. Thank you.